What's up guys, today we're sewing a pair of baggy jorts made out of denim fabric. Perfect for summer and easy to create sick y2k fits. If you don't want to miss the next sewing tutorials, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you like the jorts, leave a like on this video. You can find the pattern at this link and also in the video description down below. To make the jorts a perfect success, I recommend using a denim fabric with a maximum of 2% elastane or a fabric made from 100% cotton or polyester. Without further ado, let's jump right into the project.
You need about 1.5 to 2 meters of fabric, a jorts pattern, a button. I will use one for these pants that you have to hammer on a metal pin, but you can also use a simple one to sew on. Accordingly, you also need a sewing machine that can sew a buttonhole. You can also do it without this function, I will explain it later. And you need the usual sewing stuff. So scissors, a cutting knife, a tape measure, chalk or a colored pencil, matching sewing needles, black thread for the normal seams and beige thread for the decorative seams. Alternatively, of course, you can just use one color, it doesn't matter, and a zipper with a length of 14 centimeters. Let's start with the cutting. And first of all, these instructions are really intended for everyone, regardless of whether this is your very first sewing project or you're already more advanced. I will try to explain every step, no matter how small, so that in the end you can hold a great jorts in your hands. First, we take the pattern pieces, of which we need two identical pieces that must be mirror inverted. In this case, this is the back trouser leg, the back pocket, the front pocket with the curved cutout, and the pocket back for the front pocket without cutout. Now we take the fabric and fold it once in the middle so that the right, i.e. the nice blue denim side, is on top. The direction in which the fabric is woven should run vertically for every piece for this project. This is particularly important for pants as they fall neatly at the end. For a denim fabric with elastane, this means that you should be able to stretch it apart horizontally. Vertically, the whole thing should be much more difficult and appear rather inelastic. If you have arranged the pattern pieces to save space, you can either draw the outline with a colored pencil or chalk. To be on the safe side, put things on top of the pattern pieces to weigh them down or pin everything in place first. Then cut out the whole thing and you have the first important parts. With such bulky fabric pieces that are created during cutting, it is always a good idea to cut out the fabric for the belt loops, the small coin pocket and the zipper cover. Again, pay attention to the direction in which the fabric is woven. For the trouser legs of the front pants, the pattern pieces must now be spread out on the unfolded fabric as they have a small difference in the crotch fit. The fly shield is also placed next to it. This part also belongs to the zipper part of the trousers. Finally, the waistband is cut out. You can then fold the fabric together again because we need two identical pieces. Now that we have all the parts we need, get your iron, because now we want to iron all the individual parts nicely. From my experience, this step is absolutely not necessary, but if you're striving for perfection, then definitely do it. And I think it's also a nice way to relax. And an important principle, sewing should be fun. That's why I always proceed as follows for the next step. We prepare everything as much as possible. That means we take the back pockets. We fold the fabric twice at the top end. The first fold is approximately 0.5 centimeters and then 1 centimeter. Fix the whole thing with clips or pins and then fold in the fabric once all the way around, about 1 centimeter wide. This is always a bit tricky at the bottom tip, so you may need a few attempts until both tapered edges are the same length. When everything is fixed with clips, we get out the iron again and iron the edges. We do exactly the same procedure with the small coin pocket. For the belt loops, we fold the same amount of fabric strip in the middle on both sides to create a strip approximately 1.5 centimeters wide. This is then also ironed completely. All the ironing is simply to ensure that all the edges are neat and the fabric remains folded to a certain extent. Now fold the fly shield once, right sides together, and secure it at the bottom. The waistband is now a little more challenging. Lay both pieces down so that the two ends are bent upwards. Then you need to fold over 1 centimeter at the left and right ends of the waistband from the top piece of the fabric. Fasten everything at the top edge of the waistband and iron the folded edge once completely. Now it's time for the sewing machine. We start with the belt loop tape. Select a wide stitch length, so 4, a stitch width of 0, and the needle position is right. Place the piece of fabric under the presser foot so that you are sewing with the edge of the presser foot exactly on the edge of the strip. You simply do this on both sides. I have prepared 2 belt loop tapes because I like to have more than just 5 loops on a pair of trousers, but that is of course up to you. Now mark the places 9 cm apart and cut off your loops. Now prepare the back pockets. For this we use a presser foot that can guide us along the edge. If you don't have one, it doesn't matter, just work edge to edge as with the belt loops. The top edges of the pockets are now top stitched. I really like double seams, so first sew one line and then another parallel line. The distance between the seams is approximately 0.5 cm. Follow the same procedure for the small coin pocket. Now it is important to pay close attention to the waistband again. We place our prepared waistband under the normal presser foot in this way. Stitch length 3. Needle position in the middle. The stitch width will only change once at the very end of this tutorial, so leave it at 0. Now sew 2 to 3 stitches forward and the same number back. This is called back tacking. This prevents the seam from coming undone. Now sew up to approximately 1.5 cm before the corner and now pay attention. Keep the needle in the fabric. Turn the piece of fabric so that the presser foot is at a 45-degree angle. And now set the stitch length to 2. Make 2 stitches at this angle and then stitch length 3 again and sew the whole long edge and do the same on the other side. These 2 small stitches make the corner look much better. At the end, cut off some fabric at an angle on both corner edges so that it doesn't collect in the corner when you turn it. Be careful not to cut too close to the seam, otherwise there's a high risk of the seam coming undone. As soon as this is done, we quickly take the fly shield and sew the diagonal edge at the bottom with a straight stitch. Then turn the whole thing over so that the right side is visible and I sewed the open edge with my overlock. But you can simply use a zigzag stitch on your normal sewing machine and do the same. Now we want to sew on the back pockets. To do this, we take our 2 back trouser leg pieces, take the pattern again and mark the 2 upper corners of the pocket on the fabric. The pocket is then aligned with these 2 points and pinned in place. Now we take the edge sewing foot again and sew once around and again around for the beautiful double top stitch seam. Of course, we leave the top edge with the double stitching open. Now we come to the front pockets. Take the 2 front trouser leg sections and place them in front of you. Then take the pocket parts with the curve and lay them out exactly as shown here. Now place the parts together again, right sides facing, secure them and sew the rounding with a straight stitch. Stitch length 2.5. Sewing curves is not that easy, I just tap my paddle very often and work my way along the curve stitch by stitch. As soon as this is done, the pocket piece is turned inside out, secured and the edge is pressed again. Now do another double top stitch. Stitch length 4. Again, relatively difficult, but you can also just use the hand wheel to set stitch by stitch and then it should be alright. Now place the other 2 front pocket pieces without the rounding in front of you as shown here and position the small coin pocket. This is sewn on with double stitching just like the back pockets. As soon as we have finished, we place our matching pocket pieces on both sides of the already folded over pocket pieces with rounding and fix them in place. First we sew the pocket back to the very top edge. Then do the same on the outer edge very briefly. Just 2 to 3 centimeters long. Now the entire back pocket can be closed. You can choose the stitch length and so on according to your preference. And now it gets serious. The most difficult and by far the most important part of a pair of trousers. The zipper. First take the zipper cover and a 14 centimeters long zipper. Place the zipper exactly on the zipper cover. The slider lies upside down on the fabric, so to speak. Then use the normal presser foot to sew the zipper to the edge relatively far away from the teeth of the zipper. In the next step, take a zipper presser foot and sew the same distance again close to the teeth. Now attach the whole piece to the front part of the trousers in exactly the same way. Secure and top stitch close to the edge, as long as the zipper cover is. For the typical look, take the slightly thinner template from the pattern and trace the curve. This is also top stitched twice with a stitch length of 4. Now it will be very precise. There is a discrete fabric overlap on the other front trouser leg section. This is now folded over and ironed. This must be done so that in the next step we can place and fix this part on the other side of the zipper that is still free. This is then sewn on perfectly with a top stitch. Next, the fly shield is used and it becomes very delicate. Both trouser legs are turned right sides together to reveal the very narrow excess part of the zipper. The long edge of the fly shield is placed here and sewn in place with a zipper foot. This is really detailed work. To ensure that the fly shield holds well, you can top stitch again in these two places with a very short straight stitch. And now the most important thing of all. This determines whether the front of the trousers looks good. The two trouser legs still need to be joined. That's what this relatively short curve is for. This is joined right sides together and you have to start sewing after this fold. As always, use a straight stitch to lock at the beginning and end. Once this is done, you can turn the front trousers right side out and top stitch again. This time it's actually the most important top stitch part. First, the fabric is top stitched with a folded edge and you have to find this seamless transition where you only top stitch without the edge. Next, we simply join the center seam on the back trouser legs. This is also top stitched twice. Now we can finally join the trouser legs to the back trouser legs at the inside leg seam. Sew them together nicely, and how could it be otherwise? Double top stitching. In the next step, the outer seams are closed and the trousers start to look like real trousers. This brings us to serging the trouser leg openings. To do this, the edge of the trouser leg openings is folded in twice all the way around for approximately 1.5 centimeters. This folded edge is then ironed and a double top stitch seam can be made all the way around. For cosmetic purposes, the outer seams can now also be top stitched. If you prefer to have a uniform outer seam, you can leave it as it is. Unfortunately, not possible to top stitch the entire outer seam, as otherwise you would end up sewing the trouser leg shut. You always have to decide on one thing. Either top stitch the inside seam or the outside seam. Now we turn attention to the belt loops and the waistband and get closer and closer to the finished jorts. First, place the belt loops right sides together with one end on the upper fabric edge of the trousers. Then sew them all in place with a stitch length of 2. Next, iron the entire waistband once. Now pay attention again. We take the wider part of the waistband, the right, beautiful denim side, and place it on the inner left light denim side of the trousers, so right to left. Start by attaching one end to the fly shield and finish at the corner of the zipper. This is then sewn once all the way around with a straight stitch, needle position in the center. And take a close look. As soon as this is done, the waistband is folded around the corner of the fly shield and the zipper corner, and the pressed edge from the beginning is placed so that it lies exactly on the seam. This is then all pinned in place and we start sewing around this section with a stitch length of 4. Once around, the rest of the waistband is also top stitched around. And one of the last steps, we take each belt loop, fold it over by approximately 0.5 centimeters at the top and sew it firmly at the edge with the needle in the right position. The lower part of each loop is pressed flat and also sewn to the edge, but this time with the needle in the left position. But one last thing is still missing, the crowning glory, the button. To do this, take a button of your choice. I have one of those buttons that you can press onto a small metal pin and mark where you want the button to go. It is very important that the button is on the left side when you look at the front of the pants. This is the part of the waistband that does not overlap. The buttonhole goes on the side where the waistband overlaps. First, we attach the button. I have to do a bit of hammering here. The next step is to use the buttonhole foot on your sewing machine. Clamp a button with the same diameter and then sew the buttonhole. If you don't have this function or this presser foot, it is also possible to sew an identical buttonhole with a very narrow and short zigzag stitch. In the end, this only needs to be cut in and the seam around it serves to prevent the hole from tearing open completely. And now we have a ready-made jorts. Really super relaxed for the summer. You can combine this type of pants in so many different ways and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing your sewn jorts.
If you liked the video, then I'm definitely happy about every thumbs up. Feel free to let me know in the comments how you liked the video, and if you have any suggestions for improvement or questions, please let me know. See you at the next video. Until then, have fun sewing.